what's it going to look like in New England this year? Mac Jones showed up like he's on the MJ10 system, right? You see that? He's talking about he's changed his diet. Took Brady all those years to start doing that. Mac Jones doing it out of his rookie season,
as he should.
Right?
Mac Jones didn't have a very flattering, torso shot, kind of like Brady.
That's what I mean,
A little chubby.
So Mac Jones says he's losing. He's going to lose weight. He's getting in shape for the long term.
No more dad bod.
Okay,
from Mac Jones.
He's not even a dad.
I don't think so.
So
you don't always need to be.
But the burning issue now that Josh McDaniels is in Vegas, he finally took another job after coming back and staying in New England for all that time, essentially as the head coach in waiting. He was done, I guess, waiting for Belichick to step aside. And clearly Bill's got many more years left doing this. Whenever he wants to step away, he will. The question is, who's calling the plays on offense now? Who's going to do it? And the candidates are, that you hear all about, candidates are Matt Patricia, who's never done that, and he's working with the offensive line. Again, the question is they're all on the coaching staff, and the same way that Belichick famously views his roster, where everyone just do your job, and people do multiple jobs, and they do it very well. I guess the coaching staff is the same darn thing. It's just Bill just doesn't want to peg anybody, and
believe in labels.
I don't understand. Like other coaches, like that's who's calling the plays. I will take over the play calling duty. I will relinquish the play calling duty. You hear that all over the place with coaches. Not Belichick. He just leaves you guessing, and that drives us in the media nuts. We want answers. Who's calling the plays? Matt Patricia's working with the offensive line. Maybe he can do it. The quarterback coach, the guy who is in Mac Jones's ear, on that body that is now much more well-toned, is the guy who famously called a third down surrender formation last year. Remember that? He okayed that one. We've seen victory formations where you take a knee, but the old Giants, remember on third down, it was the surrender formation. And we're just going to punt it. One-score game. When we're, season's pretty much over. Doesn't matter if we win or lose. Nope. Joe Judge. Oh, yeah. And I don't think Patriots fans are terribly happy about that idea. But Bill apparently is fine with it potentially or not. Or maybe Bill's going to call the offensive plays himself. You're even hearing that sort of crazy talk.
I didn't know he could do that.
Bill, as you know, does everything. And he knows everything about everything. And he's the best at it. So the question is, who's calling the plays? What's your plan on calling the plays? Who's calling them? And that led to this fantastic exchange with Belichick showing up at a press availability this week in a Celtics lid.
Great.
Supporting the local team. This is fantastic. Belichick in top-notch, A+, B squared form.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of jobs that we have to do. We're all working on those things now. It's May. They'll change in June. They'll change in August. They'll change in September. So, with all the things timely that we need to do. And if you're asking about game plans, we're like months away from that. Months.
Maybe not game plans, but how about like the one role that we asked those two guys about was the play caller role. Is that one
Months away
from having a play caller?
So what plays are we calling?
Well,
Many camp plays.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. We're going to coach the team, coach the players. We're going to get them ready to go. We're going to game plan. We have a game plan for play call. Do all the things that we need to do and compete in games right now. And we're months away from that.
Is there a point where a guy who's going to have that role would take the time to prepare? Is that by the start of training camp? Is that?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have that date in your mind?
No.
Do you know who will call offensive plays, or is that a process you'll let play out over the course of the offseason?
Yeah, when we get to it, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it when we get to it. All right?
Wow.
I don't mean to laugh because these people are working hard. They're trying to get the answers. But who's calling the plays, Bill?
And they're like getting creative with how they're asking it. Well, do you have a date in mind?
You got a date in mind?
A date in mind of when?
It's fun.
I mean, much respect.
What's in the box, Bill?
Yeah, like
Bill, what's in the box?
come on.
Come on.
It's like anything. Something.
What plays do we call them? Minicamp plays?
Yeah. I mean,
What plays you in?
It's great. Bill's like
It's
trying
just-
not to laugh.
But it's just like, hey, the play caller. Memorial Day is not a good time to try and target that. And you ask Joe Judge and Patricia, they're not going to say
Yeah, it's me.
anything. But Judge is apparently saying he's going into his office watching film and acting like he's got to get ready for calling plays. If he's the one that Belichick eventually turns to say, you're the one calling the plays. But yet, maybe he's creating competition for it within his own damn coaching staff.
I don't love that strategy.
Why? What's the big deal?
your job.
What's the big deal?
I mean, I would like them to know. Just so they can kind of get I mean, this season's going to be here soon.
But, and again, it's just like, what's the point of hiding it? Like, that you're giving everyone a chance. Hold on a minute. New England's first opponent is you're at Miami. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it's going to be huge getting right out of the box. Oh, at Miami, the House of Horrors.
Yeah,
The place where Brady thought the footballs were taken fresh out of the box. It's so damn slick.
grease.
Yeah, that where
Yeah, I
Brady.
don't love that
that's
stuff.
where Brady went to the league with back in the day, Hasselbeck and Peyton Manning, and said, "Hey, we need our own damn footballs on the road." And the league basically said, "Okay."
Yeah, okay.
He thought some shenanigans being pulled in Miami. Crazy stuff happens there. Fresh out of the box, Tua with Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Mike McDaniel versus Bill Belichick. Boom, right out of the box. But we're not going to let McDaniel and the rest of the Dolphins know in May who's calling the plays on that day.
What does it matter?
And Bill's basically like, it's going to change in August. It's going to change in September. We don't know. But we want to know. I got to play that again. Because, again, you hear the reporters eventually, like, they dance around it, and then they go straight at it.
Well, who's calling the plays?
Yeah, go for it. Here, this is fantastic. Here we go. Hit it.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of jobs that we have to do. We're all working on those things now. It's May. They'll change in June. They'll change in August.
And right now,
they'll
Bill
change in
knows
September.
they're asking about game calling, but he brings up game
With
plan.
all the things timely that we need to do. And if you're asking about game plans, we're like months away from that. Months.
Maybe not game plans,
Yeah,
but
not game
how
plan.
about like the one role that we asked those two guys about was the play caller role.
Yeah.
Is that one that
Months away.
from having a play caller?
So what plays are we calling?
Well,
Mini camp plays.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What plays are you calling? He's smiling. Yeah, I'm not going to give you what you
We're
were
going to
looking
coach the team, coach the players. We're going to get them ready to go. We're going to game plan. We have to game plan for play call. Do all the things that we need to do and compete in games.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah,
and we're months away from that.
yeah, we're months away.
Is there a point where a guy who's going to have that role would
Yeah.
need the time to prepare?
Yeah, come on, Bill.
Is that by the start of training camp? Is that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Do you have that date in your mind?
No.
Do you know who will call offensive plays, or is that a process you'll let play out over the course of the offseason?
Yeah, when we get to it, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
What's in the box, Bill? Is it Joe Judge in the box? In case you're wondering that he feels that this could be, in case you're wondering that this could be in any way, shape, or form personal, or he feels some way about these coaches that he doesn't believe in them, by letting you know who the play caller is. He has done this before on defense with his own son.
Yep.
Stephen Belichick was calling defensive plays for 2 years before Bill said, you know who's calling the defensive plays? My own kid. So, there you have it.
His other son is the
don't know.
safeties coach.
Here we
And
go.
I'm also looking, Matt Patricia's official title, in case you're
Is
wondering.
offensive line coach?
Senior football advisor.
There you go. All right. That's what the pencil's for.
So, I don't know what's happening.
It's great. I love it. This is the best May story I've seen in quite some time in the NFL. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.